All right, today we are going to work on a drawing of a tessellation, right? And so I've got a note card here, and what I want to do is I want to turn that note card into kind of a square, all right? So get my sides equal, all right? This one's a little better, here we go. So I've got my square, and then I'm going to just do a simple line drawing on my square. So I basically want to take from corner to corner and do my own unique line drawing, all right? And I've started one right here, all right? So you can see I've started in this corner, and I just kind of made like a pyramid shape, and I went back to this corner. This one here is a little bit more complex, but I want to make sure that my designs are on lines that are next to each other. I don't want to be opposite one another. So I'm just going to connect from this corner over, and I kind of made like a claw looking shape that went from this corner and it ended in that corner, okay? From there, what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out, all right? So I already got one done here that's already been cut out. So there's my shape, and that one goes there, and that one goes there. So when we cut them out, what we're going to do is we're going to place them on the opposite side. So I don't want to rotate this around or anything. I just want to keep it the same. I'm going to bring it over here, and basically I'll tape it so that it's nice and flush with that side, and then I will put a little piece of tape and tape it so that it's nice and flush on that side. So as long as you're going corner to corner, these images should line up perfectly opposite of each other, all right? So there is my shape that I've cut out, all right? And I've taped it down. You can see I've got tape on the ends there. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take my sketchbook and I want to place this in the center so that I've got a decent size. And I could have it go flat, I could have it go up and down, I could have it go at an angle. However I want that to go, I'm going to lock it in here by holding it down, and then I got to take my time going around this. So the note card's kind of flimsy, so you got to make sure, especially on some of these areas that are thin, just like this one over here, I got to make sure I hold that down steady and work my way around. All right. Now, what's nice about a tessellation is all of my, if I set it up properly, all of my shape is going to interlock with one another. So there's my drawing, and here's what I mean by that. I can take this now, and this piece is going to go right into here, and then I'm going to trace around it, and it can go right down here, and I'm going to trace around it, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do that throughout the whole page so that I have something similar to this right there. So with the tessellation, all of this shape interlocks with the next one, so there's no open spaces. They're all one right inside another, and they're working their way. It kind of looks like wallpaper a little bit. Now, what I want to do from here is I want to start to get creative, all right? I want to take my sketchbook and I want to turn it around until I can start to think about what I can turn some of these shapes into, all right? So if I turn this one into a wheel, let's say, then that is going to be the same thing I'm going to do throughout the piece. But I want to try to be as creative as possible here. So it could be that your images are all the same. So this one here, I decided to take that rounded shape and turn it into an octopus head, and then I'll put the tentacles in there. And we're just doing a line drawing, but whatever I do for one, I got to make sure that that's doing the same for all of them. And even these ones that are just barely in here are showing just a little bit. This is just going to have a little bit of the texture inside of there. So I'm going to work my way around and get those in. Now it might be that I find something a little bit more than just one shape, all right? So this one here, I went with the wheel like I mentioned earlier, and I was able to make, turn these into some hot rod wheels. So I've got some flames here, I've got a nice hot rod, and then there was a space above that looks like this one right here that I thought would look like a nice horse head or a Mustang, maybe in a Mustang car. So I have two images going on in here and not just one. So you could have several images actually. You just got to make sure that you can draw that same thing over and over again in that certain area. All right. Now let's just say you're going and you just can't figure out what to do. So this would be where you could take this and I just started making a nice design. So in that rounded space, I went in with some curved edges, Here I went in. Actually, as I'm doing this, some of this stuff is starting to stand out like images on themselves. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to represent anything. Could just be a nice pattern that you've come up with your unique tessellation shape. All right? So those are your three options. You're either coming up with an abstract, basically, repeating. You could do several shapes in one, or you could do all of one shape in your nice tessellation piece. Okay? Just a pencil drawing for right now. Next week we'll talk a little bit more about the coloring process and what you should do there. But that's what we're working on this week. So if you got any questions, email me, let me know, and I will talk to you guys later.